So I haven't had luck with electronics this year. Not at all. And so this goes back to my first LCD TV was an Olivia. Remember Olivia? They still sell my thing. They were like the sort of bargain priced LCDs, but they actually were decent quality. They weren't just crap. And so we're talking 2006, getting a 37-inch LCD, which are probably 5 times as heavy as the ones that they are now. They're still thick. I spent like $1,200 in 2006 for an LCD 37-inch 1080i TV, not even P. That's before they were all even P yet. They're still I. Which, by the way, it doesn't matter that much because here's a spoiler for you all. Most cable stations, 95% don't broadcast in 1080p. It's still 1080i. Whoops.
Well,
anyway.
you have to realize that we're talking to a bunch of people who play video games. That's when it matters.
Sure. But that's people don't know that most don't even do it 1080p cable stations. So then that lasted... It lasted a good 9 years. That Olivia survived the move, survived the big Russian Olag. Frank has a story about that when he moved my stuff in and threatened me. He extorted more money out of me to get me to move the stuff in. That was nice. That was a good time back in 2009 when I moved here. So that TV survived the move. It survived until last November or October. It was right before the marathon. It was like a week before. Something usually goes wrong before the marathon each year, and last year it was the TV. So I got a Vizio refurbished smart LED TV. It was like $450, good deal, 50-inch. It lasted 11 months only, unfortunately, before the audio would be there, but this video not. And after looking into it, after I already got rid of it, it seemed like it was probably an issue with the board. You could have opened it up, put basically a board in, and it could have been fine. I don't have the time for that. I don't. I really don't. So what happened was I tried to return it because it was actually still under warranty. It was a year warranty. And so I had about 3 weeks left. So I was like, I was lucky. They would have accepted a return. So I knew shipping it back was going to be expensive. So I didn't really have a box to pack it in properly. I'll admit it wasn't 100% packed well. I did bubble wrap it. I did try to wrap it as much as I did. I tried to protect it. I put 2 boxes together. One box covered about 85-90% of it. I had to do another one and tape it. And I thought I bubbled it well. I go to this place to drop it off for UPS. You know, one of these intermediary places, like a Postal
Express or whatever.
One of those places that they basically, whatever, they probably take a percentage and off of it.
Yeah.
So I go there, and the guy was he seemed okay. You know, he probably the owner. And then I say, I'm gonna return this, and he goes, well, this box doesn't look too great, but okay, you know, whatever. Do you want insurance on it? I said, what insurance does it come with? It comes with $100. I said, that's fine. I said, this thing's busted. They're going to get it back and give me back whatever amount, for it. That's fine. I figured if I paid to get it professionally boxed and professionally packaged, it probably would have cost me $150 easily. Think about those big, huge boxes you have to get and the foam thing, not cheap. No. And then it would have cost me even more to ship it because it would have weighed like twice as much. So I'm thinking, I take the gamble. It cost me about $63, something like that, to ship it with $100 shorts. And he kept asking me if I wanted the insurance for the full $400. I thought that's strange. If he thought that the box wasn't sturdy enough, why does he want more money out of me? It probably would have cost me whatever, an extra $25, $30, $40 for that. Whatever. So it gets shipped. He takes it. It's fine. Then 5 days later, I get a notice from the eBay store that it was damaged in shipping. The screen got cracked. As part of the bezel was damaged. So they're not giving me my money back for it. So I can take that loss just because I figured if the TV costs $400, if I professionally packaged it and shipped it, it would have cost me over $200. At the most, I was going to get back $200 anyway. I was losing money no matter what. It was just playing the odds of how much was I going to lose. Right. What could I get away with at that point? You know what I mean? How much money am I going to put good after bad? So I figure at least I can get back the $100 insurance if I go to the guy and process it, because I can't do it myself. I have to do it through him. The claim, because UPS damaged it in shipping. So I walk in and I tell him the story, and he basically says to me, well, I told you that box wasn't good enough to ship the TV. It wasn't packaged right. And I'm like, okay, you told me, sir. Could you file the claim with UPS since they took the box? They're responsible for it, and it's not like I had to charge insured for $1,000. I want to get back $100 max. That's all I was going to get back on this. I figured I lost money. I already lost $400 in the TV that lasted a year. I'm already hurting a little bit. And the guy, basically said, no, I'm not filing the insurance. I'm like, why? He said, well, it's a waste of my time because, the box wasn't that good. I'm like, I'm sorry, sir. I'm getting confused. They accepted the package, UPS. They shipped it. It was damaged during shipping. Doesn't that mean the claim gets filed, regardless of what your opinion is? Doesn't it get filed? He goes, yeah, but I'm going to tell them that the box wasn't good, that it wasn't. I'm thinking, okay, this does not affect you in the least. It has nothing to do with your monetary gain or loss.
It doesn't affect your quality of life.
This is me. This is between me and UPS, not you. You're just a guy that I paid the money to. You probably took a 10-15% markup for the UPS service and then gave it to UPS to pick up, and they accepted it. UPS does not have to accept things if they don't think they're properly boxed.
Correct.
They don't. They took it. At that point, it's their responsibility. So this was a 10-minute conversation, and I never flipped out at anyone in customer service before, but this was a place where it would have been accepted that I would have done that. And plus, this guy, I think, owns the place. He's not just a worker.
Right.
So it's like, fuck him. But I was just standing on the counter like, I'm looking at him like, I said to him these words, so you're saying you're not going to go to bat for me even just file the claim? Like, how long is that going to take you? Like 5 fucking minutes to call him? He said, well, they got to go and see the box and see blah, blah, blah. So he wasn't going to file the claim, which is part of the agreement in shipping this. So at this point, I'm thinking, I wasted my time to package this the best of my ability, $63, and now I lost the $400 on the TV plus $63. I would have lost less money if I just tossed the fucking thing in the dumpster or salvaged it for parts and sold the stand and even the remote separately and got back like $40, $50. So this is like the worst possible case scenario. So I hate to say it, I'm going to be one of those guys, I have to dispute this on a credit card. Oh, then he goes to me, oh, well, you're going to find back within 7 to 10 days after I follow it. I'll have a word for you, but I'm going to tell him not to side with you. He said this to me.
Oh, I know.
I'm like, all right, cool.
I remember you telling me
for the audience, and it's been over 10 business days. He still hasn't gotten back to me. I doubt he filed, so I'm disputing the credit card charge for the shipping, and I'll get back my $63. I'm still at the $400. So I decided I want a new TV. So I go to Tiger Direct, which is usually a pretty good site, and they had a JVC TV. Usually it's like a $1,000 TV, 2014 model. Really good reviews. It actually has a swivel stand. Not many LCDs have that. 55-inch. I'm upgrading now. No, I skipped something. That's right. I skipped my second TV I bought this year before the third. So I got basically a replacement TV, but went up 5 inches. And I got it off of Circuit City on eBay. Circuit City's still a thing on eBay. Tiger Direct actually bought them, which leads into the next part of the story. So I get the TV, beautiful, packaged well, it's refurbished again, set it up. Within like 2 hours, I'm like looking, I'm like, is something wrong with the left side of the TV? So almost literally right down the middle, the left side of the TV is dimmer than the right, like noticeably so. Like you could live with it, but for TV you can't.
No, that's something that would drive me.
We're talking like
nuts.
15-20% dimmer on the left side. But so I was like, all right, I got to return this. So I returned it. And no questions asked. The guy, it was like a freight company, picked it up. Freight company didn't give me any sort of form or any sort of tracking number, which I thought was strange. But he said, "Oh, don't worry about it. It was the same guy who delivered it the week before." So I'm like, okay, this is cool. So a week goes by, and then Circuit City doesn't have it yet, which is also Tiger Direct. So I call Tiger Direct, and the lady says, we have no record of this being shipped back to us. And I'm like, the guy picked it up. It was the same guy who delivered it. I recognized him. He said, oh, I'm sorry it didn't work out. Sometimes these don't work out. So she goes to me, are you sure it was someone working for that company? I'm thinking, no, someone randomly just came and stole my TV.
After delivering you a TV.
At the precise time they were supposed to pick up in that 4-hour period. So this is like, I was almost going out of my fucking mind. I'm like, oh great, now I lost another $550 for a TV. So they finally found it. It got returned, and I'm going to get that money back. So TV number 3. I go to Tiger Direct. They have a Samsung thing. Oh, Samsung, a little bit better quality than Vizio. I should be good. Order a Samsung. Factory refurbished directly from Samsung. I'm getting into a theme about refurbished TVs and how you're playing with fire here. It was a 2014 model, 55-inch, swivel base. I'm like, that's awesome. Good reviews for video games, like only like a 44 millisecond lag, which is pretty good for a TV. and it's like $1,000 TV, only $650, like shipped. Or yeah, that's pretty good. It arrives. Here's a problem. I look at the stand. It was a 2-piece stand where it clips on the back and then it goes in the bottom. Wasn't exactly fitting right. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I'll just set this up fine and it'll be fine. I put it on the table. Snap! Good thing I was still holding on to it, or else it would have fell onto the floor. So the base was like the base probably for like the 45 or 50 inch. It was like one size too small. The one piece on the back that snapped in from the bottom. So I call up Tiger Direct. This all, by the way, this all happened within like a week. All this stuff, by the way. So I call up Tiger Direct. I'm like, hey guys, I almost dropped this TV on the ground because you sent me the wrong stand. And they're like, well, sir, we're not responsible for the stand. We can't send you another stand, but we can call up Samsung and talk to them. So I'm now on a group call with some customer service person in India, calling up Samsung for a conversation about who's responsible for sending me a new stand. That's all I want, a $50 stand. In retrospect, I should have just went on fucking eBay and bought one. Because I didn't even get a chance to turn TV on to see if it even worked, to see if both sides were lit correctly. It probably was fine. I don't know why I didn't just buy a stand, but I figured this is bullshit. I shouldn't have to buy a stand. They sent me the wrong stand. They should send me one. So Samsung's like, yeah, we don't send them directly, but here's a number, like it's like J&J TV supply parts. You can call them and say, I said, am I responsible for this? You sent me, it wasn't packaged correctly. Shouldn't you be your responsibility? And they're like, well, sir, it's up to the person who sold it to you, and that's Tiger Direct. And then the Tiger Direct representative on the phone time starts arguing with the Samsung representative about, no, we only get this from you. We don't offer the parts. And they go back and forth for like a few minutes. And I'm thinking this is like a nightmare because now I have a TV with no stand. It's snapped, and no one wants to take responsibility. So finally, I'm like, okay, Tiger Direct, what are my options here? She said, well, we don't have the stand. Okay. Do you have a replacement TV? We do not have a replacement we can send you. I'm like, okay. What are my options? You can return it. Great! I'm returning another TV. I'm returning 2 TVs within a week. So I returned that TV as well. So now I'm waiting on credit back on 2 TVs, and I have a dispute over a fucking asshole piece of shit who didn't want to do his job to put in a UPS claim for me. All because of refurbished TVs. I'm not saying all are bad. I'm just saying I've had awful luck with them. I bought 3 TVs within a year, and I have no TV over there.
I would never buy a refurbished TV.
The Vizio lasted 11 months. It was fine. So now I don't have a TV. Now I'm like, have a psychological sort of like a shield against buying TVs. I haven't had a TV like in 2.5 weeks now. I'm like looking at that space and I'm like, I'm afraid to buy a TV. I'm like afraid now. So I'm money in the hole. I'm like $450 in the hole. It could be more if I don't get the credit back for these 2. Thank God I kept the shipping boxes for both of them just in case. So they come out with bullshit saying it's damaged. I'm saying no. So yeah. So maybe you should spend the extra $300-$400 and buy a new TV and get that 4-year warranty and spend the extra $60-$70 and it might be worth it.